Alright, let's play Ace Attorney. There you go. I think we're just on the start of episode 4. I'll give you guys a little recap in case... Oh, actually, this was at the start of case 4, never mind.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory.
Did you hear that?
Of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her
Did my
back.
microphone pick that up?
Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Heavy frameage? That's very strange. It's frames? It's not frames, though. Like, I have not dropped any frames. Let me do some investigating. The "did you hear that" was in response to the massive strike of thunder that just happened. This is choppy because my CPU was capped out? That doesn't make any sense. This game isn't Hitman 3. Let me try resetting Firefox and just closing some shit out that I don't need. This does not seem like a game that should be capping my CPU, though. Oh, I think that my, computer... So my computer reset overnight, which it has not done in a while. And that usually means, like, usually when this happens is a Windows update, and the Windows update often fucks me up. But yeah, we are having some encoding lag, which I need to hunt down all of the things that are open that should not be open, and I need to close them to fight this. And it's gotta free up CPU. 1 second. Sit tight. 200 tabs? No, Cranberry, it's like 40 tabs maybe. Probably more like 70. I closed a lot of tabs today, though. It's gonna be the start of the chess tab. Yeah, get out of here, chess. My CPU is being suspiciously eaten up by Firefox today. That's fine now. But yeah, that's definitely happening because... I'm just gonna give it a sec here. I see what was wrong. It looks like it's okay now. Let me check this. There's one thing post what I believe it looks like one of these got turned on that I turned off a long time ago. Now let me look it up and see if I can kill this or not. What are you doing to me? I have to read a tech page. I'll deal with this later. I think I'm just gonna have to kill Firefox though, which is gross. For the night. Because like it looks like a bunch of shit that I sorted out got turned back on thanks to the system update. And it's like a bunch of service host things, and I don't want to just start killing service hosts and then, you know, my PC stops turning on. If you feel me. And we'll carry on from this position. I should cut all of that out of this recording, but I'm definitely not going to. Enjoy that, YouTube. Ha 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 ha. I'll just keep an eye on it, and hopefully it's better now. C4 makes my CPU run hot, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Kelrick, I'm also not with ya. What are you saying? Tell me more. Dude, this game is like, it is reminiscent of Hitman 3 right now, though. I'm running out of CPU. I should just upgrade my CPU, honestly. That'd be a good idea. Then I fix this problem that I'm having? Nah, just get another CPU. You plead the fifth? Well, then why the heck did you say it? This is ridiculous. Alright. So, if you remember, at the end of the last case, I have nothing here, actually. At the end of the last case, we got Mr. McGilded freed from... Sorry, let me rephrase that. We got Mr. McGilded off. He was not convicted and sent to the gallows. However, it was very heavily implied that with the help of the young street urchin, we were lied to, and she tampered with the evidence. And then at the very end, the carriage was set on fire and someone was inside of it. That is the most important thing. If you just watch the VODs, you may have missed the part where there's a 5-minute VOD of me going, "Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?" because Charter cut me off. And at the end of that, the omnibus was set on fire and someone was locked inside of it. So, and as canonically in the game, 1 day has passed. Less than 24 hours have passed, actually. Because we ended yesterday's case at the 18th of February at like 5 p.m. and now it's the 19th of February, 9:47 a.m. All right, let's go. There we go. Okay. Hello, Sasato. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naraho? No. It's pretty late. Yeah, Mr. Pickle, that looks pretty late to me. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, it felt like we were staying in a palace. We were at a hotel? And with all the gas lights twinkling? Sorry, the what? Hey, Cranberry, can you tell me what a gas light is, please? Or maybe friend? It was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night. About the enormous beds, after my time on the SS Burya, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed £3 for the room, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. They let you walk in there and stay the night without paying? In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. Did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Yo, we're in debt. Well, never mind, we must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. Can't we just go find Mr. McGilded and say, hey, give me the 1,000 guineas? Can someone tell me how many guineas or how many pounds is in a guinea? It's like, how many shillings are there in a pound? And then how many pounds are there in a guinea? I need conversion rates here, please. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Ugh, London is a scary place. I think the same. Ah, good morning to you at this early hour. This has to be Mr. Strong. Oh yes, well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. How is Sasato so composed and Ryunosuke is such an idiot? First English machine struck gold coin originally worth £1 sterling equal to 20 shillings. Rises in the price of gold relative to silver caused the value of the guinea to increase up to 30 shillings. Okay, so a pound and a shilling, or a pound and a sterling. No, a pound and a guinea are basically the same. Got it. And then a shilling is 1/20th of a pound. Okay. We've come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. You're telling me you think this guy doesn't know? Sato-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. This guy's so powerful. This guy looks like he's about to do a high-low left-right mix-up and strive on me. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Yeah, what about the part where they set the evidence on fire? It was very eye-opening, thank you. Someone died. Who died? In accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. He's already been apprised of the events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. We did it! How ridiculous would it have been if they just sent us back to Japan? And the game just didn't mention Sholmes again. That would be ridiculous. I would have liked that. No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. That's pretty free. That was really easy, actually, to become a lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. Oh boy, I hope it's... What do you think it's gonna be? Grand larceny? Maybe theft? Bird's prepared for every time he opens his arms. Yeah, dude. Every time he opens his arms, he's just got another set of birds. Why do you think this place is so big? They ship the birds in from off screen. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe it's gonna be carriage theft, perhaps tax fraud. Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? I mean, we are broke. Yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. Just to come to terms with, the man was cleared. Yeah, arson, terrorism, I'm hopeful. Maybe it's gonna be something exciting. What more were you hoping for? Guilty. Bonk. The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequentially, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Hey, this isn't how it works in the Phoenix Wright universe. If we don't find the person who did it, then he's guilty. We didn't set up a fall guy. Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it has been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, couldn't have asked for a better defense. Farron, hello, how's the case going today? Not too bad, we just started. Going through the... going through the wahs. Oh, you know what's wrong? I know why OBS is eating up so much CPU now. It's because I'm recording. Ah, hold on, I'm gonna stop the recording real quick. I'm a genius, I've solved the problem. Alright, I'm gonna use those markers after all. Was Mr. McGilded really innocent? Mr. Naruhodo. It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. What about the fire? Someone tell me about the fire! You needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? The fire. Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial. What? It was him. He died. Mr. McGilded is dead? Can I get the 1,000 guineas still? Or is that like the thing is he was gonna pay me before he died. He was gonna pay me for my services. And I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. Pardon me. What happened? I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yep, I remember that. Who could forget it? Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. How could such a thing have... Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Keep an eye on the, We've been pretty stable with our Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's like, it is mostly stable. Normally when my service dips, it dips like on everything. I have checked. It's just like hey, Charter's getting my ass today. But, you know. Like, it's usually pretty good. Like, I've always been on Wi-Fi, and I've never really noticed big issues up until pretty recently. Wait, have I? No. Because I used to play League for like 14 hours a day on Wi-Fi, just on a laptop, and I never had internet issues, even when I had that real bad, like 150 kilobytes per second max internet. Those were the dark ages. Even back then, though, I would never really experience particularly bad ping. Or like, I wouldn't experience spikes like I have been lately. Like I'll be playing. A good example is like I'll be playing League, and sometimes I'll just get full disconnected for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and I'm like, huh, this doesn't seem right. This seems like an issue. That's weird. Anyway, let's play Phoenix right while we still can. Man, in like 3 days, when I go to cut up the VODs from this stream, I'm gonna be real mad at myself. Alright, so I believe we were on Mr. McGilded was killed when the omnibus went up in flames. That is correct. How this happened is being investigated as we speak, but already the police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded. What do you think the odds are that it's not actually his body? It must have slipped inside while the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. The bailiff seems really bad. How could that have happened? That's also being investigated as we speak. Yeah. Yeah, I also think that there is no way they're killing McGilded. I feel like this is gonna be a big reveal down the line. Immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't think I ever did. This dude, his face has such crazy angles. Like, look at how angular this man's chin area is. He's got like a square jaw, but like not really. He does kind of resemble the Chad. You're right. He is extremely chiseled. Do you think the bailiff murdered him? That would be pretty funny. He's not incompetent, he's just a killer. Didn't examine the omnibus, asked if I could be present for it myself, yeah. Can't believe they killed off Wario. Inspection of the omnibus, not to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. Oh, what the hell? Wait, what did he say there? This one's actually important because it wasn't 30 minutes ago, it was 3 days ago. For the inspection, they're gonna examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. So someone Someone told Mr. McGilded that they were going to examine the omnibus, but they were not actually, so he was lied to get into the omnibus. Never mind that now, the Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours, leave it to the police. Don't you know that I'm the main character of this game? Or Mr. McGilded. Sasato, he was a murderer. Tell me about British court. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? It was really, it was a little over the top when they were shooting fire. Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. I mean, I feel like there was some sort of judicial system in Japan before the one they use now. It might have just been a little different. You seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. Hey, what the hell, Sasato? That was in our mind. Wow, Sasato-san has such a way with words, Ryunosuke thought. Sasato is a mind reader? The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. That is an extremely weird thing to say. Who says this? The judicial system is the most advanced in the world? You know, we've made great strides at enforcing the law, right? Having a like, you're weird. Strongheart, you're weird. Most advanced in the world, is it? That's what I'm saying, Ryunosuke. Yanyan, objection? I'll allow it. Yeah. Am I the judge? Cranberry, would you like to be the judge? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. That was simple to you? As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose. That case was very hard, yes. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. You missed the McGriddle case? Yeah, we finished that on last stream. This is the start of case 4. Are you okay? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree? This guy feels like, right now, this conversation feels like this guy is not talking to Ryunosuke, but he's talking to me, the player. It feels to me like this guy is saying that this was an unlosable case because I literally could not lose that case as a player because that's how the game works. And I don't like that. Strongheart, get back in your wall. I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much at least is an undeniable truth, which is precisely why I have prepared a new case for you that I mentioned before. What was he gonna say? What's going on here? Just a little frame, so just a quick dip. Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case? Tell me, please. Don't tell me it's a Moida and the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh? Robbery? That is to say, no one has died yet? Yet? No one has died yet? And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to... Yet. Can we go back a second, please? 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. The trial's tomorrow. Uh-huh. Back like 3 lines of dialogue, please. It's gonna murder someone. Yeah, you're gonna be representing me 1 sec. Stab. Yesterday's trial was Well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial. Ah, yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Okay. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Okay. If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented, and then they put the... Wait, what's the crime? What's the crime? How are you... Nobody died, you said. How is this person getting hung? For what? For what? For what? No, tell me for what. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. The clock is ever ticking. For what, though? So I mentioned the 23 hours. He said there was plenty of time. Yeah. One more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There's something I should like to ask you. Uh-huh. Yesterday, you remarked upon something. Big clock, right? That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. Oh yeah, that too. He had some sort of special mission here, remember? That we don't know about yet? I'd be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Who's gonna be a lawyer? Zuma always used to say that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world worked so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Another thing? On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important I have to do. Something very important, and what would that be? He never told me because he freaking died. Time's up, bitch. Thank you for an enlightening discussion. Mr. Naruhodo, what's this all about? Mr. Asogi never mentioned anything like this to me. Urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. Great Britain likes to show off their gallows, which are the most advanced and magnificent in the world. Ah, so every crime is punishable by death. I see. You know what? That checks out. Also, police detective just chilling over there, like his hat. Wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell. I'm just gonna talk in this dude's office while he's not here. That feels kind of weird. Something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? Hey, can someone tell me very briefly the difference between Sama and San? Because Sasato calls him Kazuma-sama. But I think Ryunosuke calls him San. I think that Sama is more polite or formal. Okay. And San is like what you would say to a bud. Wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Maybe we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. He seems kind of... Okay, he was holding those fries the whole time, and I did not notice them. I thought those apparated, and I was a little confused. Wait, is it? It's an endless cone of fries. This dude went to Red Robin and he got the bottomless fries to go. Oh my god. Also, I don't want to... Yeah, Dusk, I was getting there. I don't want to be offensive, but this guy has no chin. McGilded had, like, super chin. This guy is all neck. This man is a thumb. Could we trouble you? What do you think? Yes. Lovely weather, isn't it? We're in Britain. It's terrible weather always. Also, what's the weather gotta do with anything? Arg. Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eaten out of your hand, you know. But Sasato-san told me it was foolproof. I don't like you. I'm a busy man. A very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate. I'm continuously changing how he sounds, now he's southern. But I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying? Haven't seen Greg. Your name is Gregson. I don't want to offend you, but you are in the worst timeline for yourself, my man. Mr. Thumb, aka Gregson, son of Greg. What if his first name's Frank, and he's actually Hellhorn Prince? Gotta be. Oh yeah, it's definitely fish and chips, by the way. I saw the fish. Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And it's all because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. Hey, you're squeezing your fish a little hard there, buddy. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't believe we've been introduced. Sasato, flip this idiot. Kill him. This is Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. Eh? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. Eh? It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? It's unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Dude, Sasato's nuts at this shit. Sasato's absolutely insane at this game. So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. Tobias Gregson. Sasato is... She's top one so far. The biggest complaint I have about this game is that it does not have a detective gumshoe. I think that that is the only thing this game is truly missing for me. You have your equivalent of Maya in Sasato, who is pretty good. You have your equivalent of Mia, who I'm sure is going to come back in Kazuma. And all I'm missing is a detective gumshoe. I need a ridiculous, over-the-top, bad-at-his-job police inspector who's on my side. And then this game would be 10 out of 10. I guess you have Sholmes, and he's kind of supposed to be... You know, Sholmes is supposed to be your gumshoe equivalent, I guess. But I haven't seen him in a case. Gregson? Inspector Gregson? Yeah, what's the matter with Sasato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her? Hello, Gregson. Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? Oh, he's from the books, isn't he? Olympic, I would like to see Hosonaga again, yeah. I agree. You're acting like you know this man, Miss Sasato, but he's a London detective. I do know him very well, in fact. He features prominently in The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. Ah. In Ranced magazine. That's right, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry. Ah. I mean, would you really call Sherlock Sholmes great? Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words. Sato, I don't think that's a nice thing to say. Holmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments. Thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you're famous, dude. To admit that to start with, I was a little flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the yard went through the roof. That's pretty cool, yeah. There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. This dude is super paranoid. Oh, he's out of his mind. Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. You've lost it. I heard a rumor that this guy doesn't have any chin. This doesn't make any sense. Where is it? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folk are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying, as sure as eggs is eggs. This is such a horrible saying. I'm as sure as eggs is eggs. This detective could be very hard work. Yeah, I bet this guy microwaves his eggs, I agree. Perhaps sudden rise to fame does change people. Alright, please tell me, what are we putting someone to death for? Jaywalking? Tax evasion? Dine and dash? Grand larceny? Grand theft auto? As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. That probably means, as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. It wasn't fatal, though. Okay. So it's a, attempted murder, not a murder. What kind of coward would attack a poor woman from behind? Would have finished whoever it was off with a Sasato takedown. Ryunosuke, she would be stabbed, Ryunosuke. That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Ryunosuke, she would be stabbed. Brace yourself, Ryunosuke, you've angered her now. Please don't flip me. For something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. We barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place. Must have been something left at the scene. Or reliable witness. You stop you right there, you're wasting your time on this one. There's nothing you can do, there's no way to help the bloke now. Yeah, what? The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Baron Van Zeeks. Oh no! Isn't he the guy with a 100-0 ratio of kill to death? Oh, wait a minute. It's 100-1. Although it's maybe it might actually be 101-0 depending on how you count it, because the person that he was prosecuting did still die. However, it was not a guilty verdict. I don't really know how he keeps track, so sounds like you've heard of him then? Yeah, I've heard of him. He's not, I mean, I liked it when he put his foot on our table. And to buy another 6-pack of chalices. Yeah, usually those last him a lifetime. Reaper of the Bayley. Lord Baron Van Zeeks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGill told us about him before the trial. Yeah, he's the Reaper of the Bayley. He looks sick, by the way. Of all the characters in this game, this dude's design is by far my favorite. When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. It's funny because I'm pretty sure he was right at the end of the day. Every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. Except for one. The Reaper of the Bayley nickname, I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. And what of it? Means that even against the Reaper of the Bayley, it's not impossible to save the defendant. True. You really don't have a clue. No, I really don't have a clue. What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. What's wrong with you? Magnus McGilded came a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. Cropper. A plant that yields a specific crop? This doesn't seem right. There's a JavaScript script here to crop things. Yeah, I don't know what that one means. So you can't really say you saved the defendant, can you? You're an idiot. If Van Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he would be a miracle worker. That's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic? What? He cast fire on that thing? Have a good long think about that if I were you. You're out of your mind, dude. He did put his fries in his pocket for a second there, yeah. Right, well, I filled you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips. Those are french fries, dude. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, where the incident took place. That's correct, ma'am, and if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. He's as good as shaking like a leaf in his cell, he is. It'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Every character in this game is dumb. I don't know, Sasato's a super genius. And Van Zeek seems on top of things. Yunosuke's an idiot. There's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bayley, they say. I don't think that Van Zeeks murdered this guy. Kazuma? I mean, Kazuma's not very smart. He lost the 1v1 to a 15-year-old. I called the trial yesterday. I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... There's no shame in turning down the case. Now we win this. Well, imagine you'd be shaking like a leaf. Yeah. He had a Yumi. Yeah, that's true. Is that one character that's both dumb and a super genius? Oh, that's Sholmes. I forgot. I mean, we're bound to run into him, right? Really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is, but I'd like to try, so I think I'm gonna make some inquiries. Let's go, Sasato. After all, I am your judicial assistant. Let's go! Great pose. I don't need to examine anything in here. I want to go investigate the scene of the crime first because as much as I want to meet the prisoner, I think we need to go to the crime scene first because we're going to have to show the prisoner evidence. So we're going to go here first. Hey, this isn't Briar Street. This says right here, it's Strand Street. We're at the wrong place. This is the wrong street. This is where it happened. Briar Road. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. Scotland Yard. Yeah, this guy looks like he's about to resolve for +3 attack, if you know what I'm saying. It's their job, but Mr. Naruhodo to see one with my own eyes. Often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. Is she really still excited? She met Herlock Sholmes. Why is she excited about the Scotland Yard boys? She's excited about their helmet? Hehe, of course. I have to try one on one day. I cannot wait for that day. Hope your hatty dream comes true. Don't see Inspector Gregson anywhere. Shall we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing? And should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of those bobbies and be butted on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull would crack in two. England is the land of the gentleman, by the way. Alright. Step 1, we're going to talk to the boys. One of the officers from Scotland Yard, the police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. If we wander too close, we'll be clapped anonymous. That's kind of bullshit. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Yeah, that's true, Sasato. Good point. I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Yeah, that's a good point, Ryunosuke. I hear you. There's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to, it does you no favors. Look at this guy. I think he did the murder. Hee hee, what a delightful snowman. It has a scarf. You need one if you're out in this freezing cold all the time. He's made of snow. Our budget is frozen at the moment. Yo, how much money do we have? The person who made the snowman certainly would. How does she keep reading our minds, by the way? Is this gonna be... Am I out of my mind? Hold on. I'm losing it. You need one if you're out in this freezing cold all the time. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Then Ryunosuke says, surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his, but is in the parentheses like he's thinking it. And Sasato just responds? She's too nuts. Maybe he was whispering it? I don't know. Moments ago, he said something in his little text like that, and she responded. I think Sasato reads minds. That's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals. I wish I could walk up to this guy and ask him how much horsepower it has. Hey, how many horsepower does that baby get? 2? Loser. It's been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. That would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. Sasato, you're not going to jail. Don't do it. Don't throw it. Where was the stabbing? Patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Oh, right there. It's true, I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oh. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Hello. Conspiring with the mustached fella from Japan, are ya? The mustached fella from Japan? Come here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get on out of here before I give you an Aiden. Go on. Sorry, the mustached fella from Japan? He shoot us away like rats. What a disappointing experience. True. So this can't be anyone we know. Oh, that was fucked up. What the hell? Oh, a British bicycle. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. One must have been doing some breakneck cycling. Bicycles have become extremely popular in London lately. And I would not be surprised if the real killer was hiding in or behind that snowman. Yeah, what did Ryunosuke just say? The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Well, I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly, it's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off the firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me. Have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Sato's gonna one-man the two-man bike. The rather typical old brick building. Time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. Sasato, stop being horny. Please do not refer to Sasato in any capacity such as that. Need I remind you, she's 16. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yeah, this tower does seem important. Clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, and with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Known as Foggy London Town. And just make out some sort of spire through the fog. Looks like it's still being built though. That must be the Crystal Tower being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. Alright, I guess we have to go talk to the prisoner, actually, and I was wrong. I have been bamboozled. I can't converse. Alright, let's go talk to the guy. In February, local prison, cell 9. These are British prison cells. Yes, they look pretty nice. I like the candle and the bed. Yeah, it does seem a little bit like a dungeon. Having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. So dark at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Oi, inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I? Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by a number, it's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. I refuse to answer. This guy's guilty. String him up. Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think is going on here? Yeah. I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. They did say he was Japanese. Oh. What the fuck is the purpose of that? Why? Who? For what? Why would you make a prison cell that slides like this? To give food? I don't know, like couldn't you just, you could just open the door. It's not like you're more safe like this. He could definitely just pull you in. Pardon me, shush, quiet. Let me hear this guy's theme. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. Are you good, dude? They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. Right. So could I ask you, there you are, you've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you Japanese by any chance? Prisoner-san. This is... Beyond my wildest dreams. I have nothing to add, really. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this theme's not bad. It's fine, we were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! Oh, he became the Nutcracker. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice, here in this damp, dark hellhole, was a most Did he just dab on me? And end it with a pelvic thrust? Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? I think there's other personality traits that this guy has, Ryunosuke, that I would like to point out before the nationality. What compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Sure, dude. He's having one. There's been something of a misunderstanding here. Yeah, tell me, did you stab someone? Are you a suspect? Yes, I can, I will. Can't say sullen and silent. Is it like, this is 7 syllables. Are they all 7 syllables? Is this like, what's he doing? What are you doing? I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. He's had multiple ones. This dude is constantly in a state of having one. Cancel the cute dogs. That's a 4. Cute dog, no longer allowed. That's a 4. Cute dog is now on lockdown. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. This is Sasato-san. Sasato Mikatoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Notably, okay, so it's not a haiku situation. What the fuck? He just dabs when he talks. Oh, that's an actual author? Huh. Saki Natsume-san. What an unusual name. You wrote the book Kokoro, you did your thesis on it? I mean, I guess that's why it was called, Clouded Kokoro, friend. Call me Saseki, please. I'm a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. Nom de plume. A pen name. Ah. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? Ah. That's right, Naruhodo-san. Oh, no, don't be so prosaic. Prosaic. Having the style or diction of prose lacking poetic beauty. I'm much more refined than that. And haiku, that really reminds me of home. I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government. Real quick. Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go and study English. Just a people thing, please. 33. 44? First I had to suffer that misery, and now this. It's beyond the pale. Yeah, this guy's a student? That's what I didn't want to say it, Cranberry. You didn't want to study here in London? Had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course, okay. But just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No. Just because the government tells you to do something, what do you mean? If they've told me to study English literature, that I could have understand. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. Yeah, I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewashy. Ten to 10, how ridiculous is this case? So far it's been pretty normal, Cash, but now this guy's ridiculous. Up until now, we have faced our greatest foe, Charter internet provider, and now that Charter is dead and defeated, I am meeting an absolute normal human. So I'm often told, and often like to be told, did you stab someone? Tell me honestly, did you stab someone? Why were you arrested? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Might've. No, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. So who did it? I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here? Seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. I'm not reading that. So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. How do we find out more about the case? I agree. It was an accursed evening just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. So this guy thinks he's being haunted by ghosts. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out another soul silhouette ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Is this gonna be a ghost case? Did this lady get stabbed by a ghost? Did she get stabbed by a ghost? And then follow-up question, did thrice-fired Mason get stabbed by a ghost? Called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Like exactly, he like does a half dab, half Naruto run. I was terrified. I had to get away from her. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That is not good. Say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. But you should have just helped this lady. It's actually so free. You help this lady up and you take her to the hospital and then you're cleared of murder. You're so stupid. You should have won. I should not have to defend your dumbass. Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English and a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. Is this guy an incel? Oh no. How do you feel about women? I gotta ask a few follow-up questions here before I feel comfortable going on. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san, and at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one. As the victim was unknown to you and there was nobody else on the street at the time. Swampus people, hello. How's it going? That creates something of a conundrum. I agree, Sasato. That does seem bad. Wrong with this dude's pupils? He's having a bad day. What's the conundrum, Sasato? What's the conundrum? The conundrum is that no one else could have stabbed this lady, Ryunosuke. Are you stupid? If what Saseki-san has told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. Yeah, so, question 1, how'd they know he was there? Question 2, who stabbed the lady? If that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Arg. You. What did you just say? Nothing. He thought this, right? Ryunosuke is just getting his mind read. This is ridiculous. Ryunosuke is just consistently getting his mind read. Incinna Rohan, the artist formerly known as Ashbait, hello? You're right on time for us to see this dude vibrating. Perhaps I thought that a little too loudly. What is Ryunosuke? That's not what was troubling me. Okay, Sasato. What I was thinking was, how did Saseki-san actually come to be arrested? He didn't touch the victim and there was nobody at the scene to see him, so how did the police ever discover he was there in the first place? That is a good point as well, Sasato. It was him. That accursed great detective. He let I was Sholmes. I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed... Hairlock Sholmes. Honestly, kinda missed the boy. I knew it. Sholmes, we gotta solve it. Hairlock Sholmes. I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. Yeah, Sholmes is 34 and this guy's 33, you're right. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police, put the weapon down." It was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I was not eating a weapon. I like just letting them sit there for a second. Frozen in time. I bet it's good, a good core workout if he just holds that pose for a bit, I bet. Clearly had a trying morning yesterday. That's true. There he was in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Hairlock Sholmes. It's actually just Herlock Sholmes. He's English. Yep. I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London. You love this dude? You are the first person to say that. Nobody has said anything other than I hate this guy so far. His overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stooped kitten of a man. This dude's just roasting himself non-stop. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be unreasonable, especially considering he's very wrong a lot of the time. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Yeah. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flim-flammery. Yeah, we are in England. I understand that they were talking English, yep. Mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say, so I just kept repeating things like, yes I do, and I'm fine. This dude confessed to murder. That's not a good look for our client. Yeah, Swampus, I agree. Beef stroganoff was an instant like. Hang on, I dropped something. I dropped the pen I was holding. And I need that pen. But it has evaporated. Where the hell did my pen go? It's like the last working writing tool in my room. Every single other writing thing I have in here has broken. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. So you're telling me this guy's lived here for a year and he didn't know enough English to answer the "Did you kill this lady?" question? Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yeah, you can just call me Naruhodo. When we're speaking English, a simple mister is more than enough. They really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. Almost never write with pen at this point. Yeah, all my pencils are broken though, so I got pen for now. I'll go get another one eventually. I don't write a whole lot though. Beg you defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Yeah, sure. Why is it so hard to say yes to me? I'm just a student on a study tour. I've defended a case in the Old Bailey, only one. At this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. Ryunosuke, if you don't represent this man, he is dead. Confused about what justice in this country even means. What are you talking about, dude? Even the foreign student who was supposed to be here, I'm a sort of locum lawyer. Locum. A person who temporarily fulfills the duty of another. The term is especially used for a physician or a clergyman. Keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. Yeah. I know exactly what they're saying about me. What do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Why do you say that? Because they don't want to go up against the Reaper of the Bailey. There was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks like I must be the culprit. Very hard for you, Saseki-san. I mean, it probably wasn't that hard for him to run away. Student from overseas, I'm just a foreign nobody, someone not to be trusted. Heard them openly laughing about me before in my earshot without any trial for this man would be a waste of time. Of course the foreigner did it. Man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. They're dunking on this guy. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. Traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Saseki-san is just that. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being. I'll investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. That's fair. I'll be here all alone, waiting for you. Yeah. I was supposed to come here first, I guess. Oh, friend, new username? Brendenstein? Pretty good. I like it. Good little 2-month Halloween name. I agree. Yeah, I've talked to this guy. I think English history is great. You're getting what you deserve. What do you mean? Swampus, what do you mean? Ah, there he is. What's the Japanese delegation doing here? And you know what we're doing here, dude. This isn't on the tourist trail, I'm afraid. This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Here to investigate, of course. What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal as you put it, he's a suspect. Yeah, we'll see. You Japanese like this. I don't like it. I don't like that. Please stop making me say that. Well, do what you will, it doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Descartes, London at this time is full of stone cold air. Okay, like what the? This is a. Ryunosuke is just consistently getting his mind read. The stone cold air of rejection. Descartes, London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. I can't tell if this is just an error in the game or if Ryunosuke is actually just having his mind read nonstop. Hey buddy, how's Scotland Yard? Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, man. You know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. Just make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. Doesn't he look wonderful? Get Sasato a helmet. Crazy, why the fuck would she want to wear that, Cash? I don't care. Get Sasato a helmet this instant. If she wants to wear a helmet, get her a helmet. Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. Then I have, like, I guess. He wakes people up, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. That seems fucking awful. Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. Who wakes up the Bobby? It seems like one of these guys fucks up and sleeps in and the whole city shuts down. To cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. Can you convert that to kilometers, please? Let me see. 20 miles, that's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. Sato, that doesn't help me. When it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. In between all of those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, more alongside. Dude, it seems rough being a Bobby. To handle those jobs as well, we do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. People are dying from overwork. That's okay, it's a worth trade. Honestly, you get better efficiency. A little discontent, but no one really cares. With a heavy heart, that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naraho. Tell me about the case, dude. It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. If you're gonna watch the tier list video, have fun. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she is being treated in the hospital. Never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. Because they haven't been able to take a statement from her. Okay. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Hey, what a pal. Guard policy to give lawyers, defendant, suspects the odd bit of information to go on. Great job, buddy. Street map of the local area showing where the victim was found. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? I bet it was the horse. I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. Most certainly can be sure. Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? We have two very reliable witnesses. Oh no! Randomly, thanks for 6 months. Good to see you. Don't worry. I'll pause so you can dodge. No spoilers. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously did not see that. Yeah, reliable witnesses, exactly. If 3 of 4 cases have had a precise moment witness, who is then not going to be the precise moment witness, I bet. After we press them a little bit, they're going to say, oh, well, actually... Alright, where are the witnesses? I gotta go beat them up. Who are the witnesses? A fella and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. Oh, was it Mr. McGilden? He's a copper from Scotland Yard. I thought you said he was respected. Ah! A policeman? That might change things. This policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked. Nothing peculiar about that man, part and parcel of being a bobby, catching them bang in the act and all that. Can you talk to the policeman, please? I got a lot of questions, actually. You ask him what you like in court tomorrow. I have no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. This is bullshit. So, okay. The policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you, this could make our job very difficult indeed. Thanks, Sasato. One more thing, Inspector. The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. Oh, he doesn't want to talk about Sholmes? Yeah, Blinkster, I'm with you. I was thinking the same thing. If a policeman saw it, why did they need Sholmes' deduction? I'm guessing the policeman helped the lady and didn't see the guy run away or something like that? That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you gonna defend him or not? Yeah, I am. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. This prosecution's being handled by the Reaper of the Bayley. Yeah, but he's a loser. It's all a bit strange, though. The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now, and he's doing back-to-backs. The only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master violent criminals? What's happening? That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. Okay, so he's not really the Reaper of the Bayley because anyone he faces is condemned to die. He's the Reaper of the Bayley because he handpicks cases with certain sure thing evidence. His reputation's a little over the top. Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely. That's just my point, Sunshine. The young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. Yeah? This isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth in, for want of a better phrase. Yeah, to want to sink his teeth in. I wonder what that's referencing. I'm not so sure. Not exactly a minor infraction, is it? Do you think they're hinting that the Reaper of the Bayley might be more than just a normal human, by the way? What do you think? Gotta be more to it, some reason he's taken an interest. Yeah, what do you think? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Dark? Shut the fuck up, game. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Like, this is just, it's just absurd. There's no way that it's really, like, there's no way he's a vampire for many reasons. Like, it's too on the nose. Talk about Mr. Sholmes while you're at it. Who did you hear that name from? The defendant, Mr. Natsume, said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. It was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle, yep. The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Ah. I don't know where he gets this information from, but he turns up at the scene of a crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yeah, I agree. He's a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gabble! Ever seen this before? Yes. A wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. The so-called great detective makes a mockery of us all. If you ask anyone about the Yard, or if you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. Suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. And that's a shame. Really, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Hey buddy, you're crushing your fries, by the way. Well, I don't think we're gonna get to any more useful information out of the detective. If you considered being better at your job. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Yeah, what's up, Sasato? Seems to me you must speak with him about this. Yeah, Sherlock. Yeah, Sholmes. Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, of course. Mr. Natsume did blame him for all of this, yeah. He really did. Makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just gonna ignore that? I hope not. Not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. Wait, what? We have no idea of this man's address even, so it's Baker Street. Okay. Sasato also looks like she's about to do a takedown. In the stories, 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. You see, well, there's nothing stopping us from going, I suppose. We'll find our way there before Sasato-stan gets any more excited and unpredictable. Gonna summon a carriage? You can do that? Do we have the money for that? Alright, later, loser. You know, could crowds outside of his door. Maybe he does. If it's a fake address, we're gonna know pretty quickly, I'd imagine. Oh, full cutscene? Graveyard cast summon carriage as a 4th level spell slot. Does that come with a horse cranberry at 4th level?
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
He's
Thanks
British.
again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Dude, they gave us a fully voiced cutscene? 2D2 horses? You can roll for that, Cranberry. He's also British? Yeah, Sasato and Ryunosuke are also British, yes. Maybe I'm surprised that you have a cooldown on that command, actually. Alright, so you get 3 horses. This place is a fucking mess. So, this is where the great detective makes his living. Why are we in here? Where is he? Did he not let us in? We just walked in? Is it as described in the stories, Miss Sasada? Violin, jug with unknown liquid in it. Ocean? Question mark? Sasada-san. Many, many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Suppose they must have been, yes. Never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited as she is. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. The thrill of it, the romanticism, can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? No. If you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. She's obsessed. I think Levlin said that moments ago. Doesn't Sasada seem a little obsessed? Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Hello? Do we have a visitor? Are we gonna meet Wilson? Oh, who the fuck is this? I know you. You took away the girl at the place yesterday. Hello, is it a big new case from Mr. Sholmes, or for Mr. Sholmes?